There's a FBI guy here, Homeland Security. I saw one of
So many cops.
I saw DeBazzi. There's one of DeBazzi.
But I don't know. Okay. That's right. Especially if somebody What was that? Yeah. That's right. Oh, really?
He has an actual.
I actually never do it.
He literally has an actual.
That's what I was like, it's funny you say that. That's fucking Chicago. What is it? You cameraman as well?
A lot more action going on over there now. The FBI guy's going. Right. Good? It's a different angle too. I'll give you some facts and figures. A lot of this is preliminary and something will change. So 10:52 a.m., 3 males aged 18 through 20 jumped off the rock behind me. As they did, an explosion occurred, injuring one of the victims. The male was transported to Bellevue in serious but stable condition. The explosion that could have been an experiment with fireworks or homemade explosives. We do not have any evidence of a constructed device or commercial-grade fireworks. We believe this could have been put here as some sort of experiment. We will be expanding our evidence search with our vaporwave dogs to look for anything pertinent to our investigation. We will continue canvassing for additional video and witnesses who could be helpful to our investigation. At this time, we have no evidence that this is related to terrorism. There are no specific credible threats directed at New York or the July 4th celebrations. It is not unusual for the public to make or try to create homemade fireworks around the 4th of July, which is completely unadvisable. It also should be noted that the victim and his two friends, we don't consider them to be part of the construction of this object. Good. I'll take a couple of your questions.
Where was it exactly? Where was this explosion?
It was behind us on the path. It was secreted next to a rock. It was almost like it was hidden, but it wasn't where somebody ordinarily would have stepped.
Chief, so the individual jumped off the rock and landed on this device and then it exploded?
His foot landed on the device. It should be noted that his two friends didn't get injured, so it was concise right to the point where it was.
Maybe we could just ask Mark Torrey to come up and speak to the, we're not even going to call it a device, but Mark, if we could, Lieutenant Mark Torrey, the CO of the bomb squad, it's not a device, but Mark can talk to you at length about fireworks.
Good afternoon. So as the chief alluded to earlier, this is a time of year when we will see a lot of experimentation, explosive experimenters, if you will. Their goal is to make a loud noise, maybe make a flash. They like to make noise and sort of play with fireworks, and it's even better if they can make their own. So we are not finding anything consistent with a constructed IED. This is clearly explosive material, but there's nothing to indicate that this was an explosive device that was put in this area with a specific intent to harm any individual.
You said you've seen this kind of thing at this time of year. Have you ever seen anything like this?
We've seen a lot of experimentation with homemade fireworks. I've been with the bomb squad since 1993. I have never seen anyone step on a shock-sensitive explosive material, but we have had shock-sensitive explosive materials utilized in other ways, in nefarious ways. Not by stepping on, but I'm not going to go into how they could be used. So the answer is yes, we have seen shock-sensitive homemade materials utilized.
Do you believe
Right over here.
Is this something that may have been meant to kind of combust on its own without somebody necessarily stepping on it?
I'm not going to answer exactly how I would arrive at that conclusion, but there is some forensic evidence that indicates that it was not meant to go off by somebody stepping on it. It may have not gone off at an earlier time and was just left there.
Josh, how long do you think it might have been there? Just minutes or a day, or do you have any sense for that?
Yeah, I'm going to say it was there longer than a day, but beyond that, I can't really nail that down.
Are you
Could you
confident?
speak to the extent of the young man's injuries, please?
Let's let the fire chief discuss the
Deputy Assistant Chief Michael Gala, G-A-L-A, Manhattan Borough Commander. Around 11 o'clock this morning, we responded to the park for a report of an explosive device. When our units arrived, they came across a male with a traumatic injury to his left foot. As the NYPD secured the area, our members applied a tourniquet to the victim, stopped the bleeding, stabilized and packaged the victim, we moved him to Bellevue Hospital. The last report from Bellevue Hospital was that the victim was undergoing surgery. At this time, we're continuing to maintain both an EMS and fire presence on the scene to support the NYPD as they continue with their investigation.
Did he lose his foot, sir? Did he lose his foot?
The last report from Bellevue Hospital was that he was undergoing surgery and his condition was stable.
Are you guys confident that since the park is still open, no other devices that may have been left are potentially harmful?
Yeah. We did a video canvas. We sent out a lot of detectives. We have 7 vaporweight dogs and 7 dogs, some of which are very special, the vaporweight dogs. They're checking the park for any further explosives.
Anyone else?
So does it look like it's something that was just amateurly made or made by an amateur? Does it look like someone that had to have a lot of knowledge about explosives in order to make this device or whatever you want to call it?
Ma'am, clearly I would say that this is somebody that had knowledge of chemistry, but you don't have to be anything more than good with computers to get enough knowledge of chemistry to be able to create some of this type of material from readily available materials, unfortunately.
And Collins, you want to just plug the Crime Stoppers number just in case anyone's got information?
Yeah, we're interviewing anyone who has any information today, going back to days, if you've seen anything suspicious that you might think is relevant. 1-800-577-TIPS. Please call it confidential.
One more question.
Yeah, one thing, some of you is using the word experiment, and I was just, if you could just clarify, I mean, what does that typically mean when you do find these kinds of, is it in advance of the 4th of July, what are people doing when they make these experiments?
So, I use the term experiment because, quite frankly, there are a cadre of people in the world who like to experiment with explosive materials. The reason why you see fireworks displays all goes back to people like that do it in a professional fashion. There are people that do it in an amateur fashion, but it doesn't make their material any less dangerous. So explosive hobbyists, fireworks, pyrotechnician hobbyists, that's where I'm going with it.
Okay.
Not even. What do you hang up?